Whenever we think about the idea of evil, we tend to imagine some sort of horror movie in our mind. And you're not wrong if that's a train of thought that you end up on, but the devil in many ways is just hiding in plain sight. And I want to take a look at what it says in the book of James, chapter 3, verse 13 through 16. I think it's really helpful in regards to this topic. He says, "Who is wise and understanding among you? By his good conduct, let him show his works in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but it is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exists, there will be disorder in every vile practice." James describes jealousy and selfish ambition as earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. We hear that word demonic and we think of paranormal activity. We think of a priest performing an exorcism. And again, those things are real. But most of the time, the devil simply just wants to influence your thoughts and your decisions, and he does it in ways that are subtle. James goes on to give an example of selfish ambition in the next chapter. He says this, "Look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and will stay there a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own pretentious plans, and all such boasting is evil." When Jesus is teaching his disciples how to pray, the first thing he tells them to say is, "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." There's nothing wrong with making a plan of your own and strategizing. Proverbs 16:9 says that the heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. So plan, strategize, be productive. These are good things, but we should always consider God. We should always include God. We should always look to him for guidance and counsel and prioritize his will over our own. In C.S. Lewis's book, The Screwtape Letters, he tells this fictional story that is essentially about a demon in training. And the point of the book is to really expose and highlight the mind of the devil. And I want to look at this particular scene in the book and listen to what the senior demon says and how it contradicts our common understanding of evil. He says this, "In the last war, thousands of humans, by discovering their own cowardice, discovered the whole moral world for the first time. In peace, we can make many of them ignore good and evil entirely. In danger, the issue is forced upon them in a guise to which even we cannot blind them." Think about that. Sometimes the devil wants you to be at peace. And Jesus says that the peace that he offers is different than the peace that the world has to offer. The peace of the world is conditional. The peace of God is constant. The Bible says that the peace of God surpasses all understanding. It doesn't make sense to people that need everything to go their way in order for them to be confident. And in John Bevere's book, The Bait of Satan, he says, "God refines with afflictions, trials, and tribulations, the heat of which separates impurities such as unforgiveness, strife, bitterness, anger, envy, and so forth from the character of God in our lives. Sin easily hides where there is no heat of trials and afflictions. In times of prosperity and success, even a wicked man will seem kind and generous. Under the heat of trials, however, the impurities surface." So as we can see here, God many times works in mysterious ways, as many of us know. And he seems to utilize our pain in a very paradoxical way. But the goal of this message is to reveal the deceptiveness of the devil and to show how we're all susceptible to his schemes if we aren't careful. And it's not just the person down the street that you think is crazy. The Bible says that all have fallen short of the glory of God, and that if any of us think that we are without sin, then we are being deceived.